Hey friend, welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast, where our motto is done is better than perfect. I'm Chrissy Chin, here on a mission to help you grow your business online, turn your leads into lifelong customers, and scale to six figures and beyond so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more. Most importantly, I'm a laid-back wife, a mom, a friend who started as a peds nurse turned network marketer, and now a serial entrepreneur. This podcast is for ambitious people with an idea, a vision, but no idea how to get there. On this podcast, I'll give actionable steps to keep you moving forward while you learn new business strategies, better systems and processes, marketing, sales, all the things you need to build and scale a blissful business that keeps your pocketbooks growing. Grab a beverage, open up your notes app, and let's get to it. I am so excited to have you back on the podcast, John. It's been a while since you've been on here, since we've kind of connected on this deeper level. How are you?
Absolutely, Chrissy. So good to be back with you. And wow, so much time has passed since the last time we were on the podcast together. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to connect with you and your audience. I'm super well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
Oh my God, so good. Glad to have you back. Y'all, if you didn't listen to, I had John on so long ago. John was one of my high performance coaches, and I learned so much, so many things. I still get the daily reminders at 10 a.m. for my 3 things that I want to focus on. And every day I'm reminded of you and just how much you've impacted my life. And so I've been super excited to have you come back on to share your book. Like, we're not saving that announcement till the end. The book is releasing today. So super exciting. If you're listening to this on the day that this has gone live, if you're listening to it in the future, you can get the book now, which is super exciting. And so I've just been excited to bring you on and to share more of your insights, the things that you've been diving into, and really kind of what this book is about and how this can help someone out there listening, because you've helped me so much, and I'm so excited to just have a wealth of your knowledge in a book, so affordable, to just get you and your nuggets and all of the great things that you've shared with me and now sharing with others. So let's just kind of dive in. I know you've got a kind of a framework that you go through in the book. So, I'll just let you kind of jump in and share what you think would be most valuable to kind of help people in this time that we have. And then we can tell you all how to get the book, which will be wonderful.
Amazing. Thank you, Christy. I think, first of all, just to say how grateful I was for that time together, that opportunity to serve you, to liberate your greatness. That's the title of the book. And that's my purpose, is to liberate greatness, and to have had that opportunity to work with you, to help you unlock that next level of excellence in your personal and your professional performance. I have such fond memories of our time together, and so proud of everything that you're achieving. Sometimes it's just the minor tweaks that make major impact. And in many cases, that's what you needed, was just some validation of all the amazing things that you were doing, some slight adjustments in certain areas. And I appreciate you mentioning our journey together, and such a privilege to have served and supported you on your journey. If we think about the book Liberate Your Greatness, really designed to help people accept and embrace change in an era of accelerating change. I really think that we have experienced so much change, especially over the last few years, where people can feel overwhelmed. Where do they go? What strategies do they need? And having the right strategies to achieve greatness can be a game changer. My heart is to help people achieve their goals faster, accelerate their growth, and amplify the impact that they want to have in the world. So the book is really written about the strategies on how to do that. You mentioned a signature framework that I've developed. That's come from 20 years of interacting with individuals and teams in 33 countries around the world. I've seen best practices. I've seen what doesn't work for individuals and teams. I've seen, how people succeed above standard norms, and how they, maintain that sort of growth and performance. And in the last 3 years that I've been, writing the book, I've been able to put that into a signature framework. So I'd be happy to share that with you and your audience.
Yeah, I would love that. We can dive into that a bit. And I'm glad that you mentioned simple things to do. Like, I made these little changes. And I think that's what's really important to note, that being able to generate your success so much faster or get through hard things in life, it doesn't take catastrophic change. It's these little things that are so doable that we can implement, or that just kind of open another perspective that allow us to approach something in a different way, that makes all of the difference. And that's kind of what I love about your approach, is that it's very doable. It's very relatable. It's things that I can actually implement, and they just have such a lasting and compounding effect. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's dive in a little bit to the framework.
Fantastic. So the framework is built around 6 A's. We start off with awareness. I believe that all proactive change starts with awareness. Before awareness, you're in a place of ignorance. And when you're ignorant, ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is costly. When you don't know what you don't know, that's actually costing you every single day. When you don't know the strategies on how to succeed, when you don't know the strategies on how to unlock your next level of performance. So all proactive change starts with awareness. So much change happening to us. You can't control that. You can control proactive change. So if you think about awareness, well, what do you need to be aware of? You need to be aware of your current reality and your desired future reality, where you want to go from and where you want to go to. You need to be self-aware. You need to be aware of others. And you need to be aware of interdependence. I think if we've had a look at the opportunity for us to collaborate in various shapes and forms, whether it's podcasts or speaking on stages together or supporting each other in our book writing journeys, the interdependence is where the magic happens. We are not meant to do life alone. So having the awareness of who, not necessarily how do I do things, but who can help me, who can support me, who can encourage me on my journey, I think that level of awareness is incredibly powerful. And as we move through from awareness to alignment, which is the next A, alignment is really about alignment with your purpose, your mission, your values, your objectives, your goals. And if you think about aligning all those elements, if they're all aligned, the action you take is laser focused. And that's the next part of the framework. So with great awareness and great alignment, your action is laser focused. In the absence of awareness and the absence of alignment, you could be busy, you could be doing a lot of stuff, but that action is going to be all over the place. So I really encourage people to start there with great awareness, make sure you've got great alignment, and then great action, whether that's as an individual or with a team. And if you just think in teams, for example, how many people stray off their sort of desired path because they're not necessarily aligned, they don't agree on which way to go. They can be super busy, but not focused in the action they take. So great awareness, great alignment, great action. That's how you start to achieve incredible results. So then after action, we move into the next part of implementation, which is accountability. And Chrissy, you know as well as I do, as a coach, as a business leader, how important it's been in your journey to have someone hold you accountable, someone that's going to encourage you, that's going to push you, that's going to challenge you and say, you committed to doing these things. We were aligned on what you were going to do. Where's the work? Have you done the work? Are you showing up the way you're supposed to be showing up? Even just something as simple as you having your 3 words, still showing up on your phone at 10 a.m. I'm still holding you accountable, which is amazing. So thank you for giving me that gift. And I mean, I'd love to hear, just if we pause on the framework for a split second, and just what's that doing for you in terms of helping you show up as the best version of yourself on a daily basis?
Yeah, I mean, it just, I'm trying to think of the lively, relevant, and I think transformational are my 3 words. So that's what pops up. I've got this reminder at 10 a.m. that we set together when we were doing coaching together. And it just reminds me to just show up as that person. And so often we can wake up, and one little thing sets us off. I'm dealing with a unexpected bathroom and laundry room remodel, mold everywhere, people not responding, insurance trying to say they're not covering it, just got word they are. So that's exciting.
Oh, that's good.
But
that's good.
All of these little things that just happen to us and like you said from before, we can't control. But what can we control? And I think that was super powerful in the beginning of the framework, is me realizing I can't control a majority of the things happening, but there are things that I can control. And one of those is being reminded of how I do want to show up. And letting the notification hold me accountable, right? You hold me accountable through that automated notification. And just being able to take a moment and be like, take a breath. Okay, whatever's going on, like, I'm here for a purpose and I have things that I can control in my environment. And so how can I show up? How can I be of service today to the people around me, to my family, to myself? And so that's just been really impactful and powerful just on a day-to-day.
So good, so good. And the things that you can always control, your thoughts, your words, your actions. So if you think about how powerful that is with mindset, sometimes what happens is we get a negative thought that comes in. And if we allow it to get to us, we go down this negative spiral where we become, disillusioned. We might become a bit deflated or demotivated. And if you dwell in that place, you become depressed. Where if you say, okay, it is what it is. It's just a thought. It's not great. I'm not happy about the situation. But what's one positive thing that I can do? What's one positive action I can take? All of a sudden, you start taking one positive action after the next, you start making progress. And when you make progress, you start building momentum, and you build enough momentum, you become unstoppable. And that's really the gap, is from the bottom of a negative spiral, depressed, to the top of a positive spiral, unstoppable, based on what you do to control your thoughts, your words, your actions. So I love the fact that you recognize that as well. And everybody out there, regardless of the situation that you're going through right now, you can always control your thoughts, your words, your actions. So if I just recap the framework so far, we've had that insight piece on awareness and alignment. We've then gone into implementation, where we speak about action and accountability. And then we move into the next part of the framework, which is really about amplification and acceleration. So if you think about a ball spinning quickly, or a wheel spinning quickly, if you've got a small wheel, you'll have a little bit of impact as that spins. If you've got a bigger wheel with more impact, as that spins, you're going to have even more impact in the world. So we amplify first. And how do you amplify? You amplify by leading people, managing systems, and using your influence. And I know there are a lot of people out there in your audience, Chrissy, that have a lot of great influence, that could be really making a massive impact in the world just by thinking of how do they lead at a higher level? How do they elevate their standards of excellence to a higher level and use their influence for good? So that's amplification. Then when we talk about acceleration, it's really there about innovating, communicating, collaborating, and co-creating to accelerate. I've just been on a 6-week tour that started off in Spain. I then spoke at an event in Nashville. I moved on to San Diego with 3 different events in California over the next 3 weeks. And this past week, just concluded a business leader summit that I was facilitating, where we brought the framework to life in so many different areas, and especially that idea of people who connect, communicate, and collaborate co-create the future. It's something special to see when people get together and connect and communicate in that way. So yeah, just really, really pleased with how the framework is getting brought to life in different shapes or forms, and excited to see, what people experience as they read the book.
I love that. I love that. Okay. And so I had a thought on the first part of that last one. Remind me what they were.
So we had amplification and acceleration.
Yes. So I think it was about, I'll come back to that one. And then the other one was, what was after that one? Influence.
So using your influence as part of that.
So I wanted to just touch on that, because a lot of you, out there might be thinking, well, I don't have a large social following, right? Like, I'm not an influencer. What do I have? But we're not talking about someone with a massive audience right now. You can have one person in front of you, and you can influence and help them in a positive light. And so don't, I just want to make sure that you're not being discouraged by the thought of like, well, I don't have this big audience yet. Like, you're in the process of building that. And so taking this framework and implementing this is setting you up for greatness and for success, and to be able to make that bigger impact. So I think I just wanted to point that out. That's super, super important.
Yeah, and Chrissy, you'll see in the book I speak about leaders, and whether you're a business leader, a commercial leader in a corporate, or whether you're leading in your community or your family, all of us are leaders, and a lot of that comes from how you lead self and how you lead others. So influence is leadership. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So to think about the influence that we can have in our children's lives, in our partners' lives, in our community. It doesn't have to be, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of people. We can influence at so many different levels. And actually, the biggest influence happens one-to-one, one person at a time, one conversation at a time. So really just to encourage everyone to think about that. We all have an opportunity to positively influence people around us and the world around us.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Yeah. And then going back to the one before, the negative thoughts, the people listening, y'all are entrepreneurs. Like, we're going to have the hard days, those negative thoughts. And so I think that has been also something that I found really valuable in working with you. And I'm excited to dive back into the book, because while we covered like a lot of this in the coaching, it's been a few years. And so I have a whole new perspective. I've gone through so much more in my business and in my life. And so I'm just excited to kind of refresh myself on these moments. It's like someone could say the same thing over and over and over again. And one day it just hits you, or you take it completely different because you're just in a different headspace, or you're going through a different experience. So even if you have maybe had some support in some of these areas, you're like, oh, it sounds familiar, like something I've done, like get the book, read the book, because you're going to take away something different than the first time you heard that message long before. And your framework was just so powerful and impactful, and everything together is just accelerating the growth and the change. So thank you for taking the time, as fellow almost author over here. It's a lot of work to do, and so I just appreciate you taking the time out of everything you have going on to put this together in an affordable package that we can all learn from.
My absolute pleasure, Chrissy. And my heart to serve, to liberate greatness. Exactly what you're saying about every level that you're at. The framework's applicable, and it's a cycle for a reason. That even if you're at that acceleration phase, if you want to grow, growth equals change, and all proactive change starts with awareness, which puts you right back at the start of the framework. And then you just think, okay, awareness of my new current reality, awareness of my new desired future reality. And you move through the framework, through alignment, through action, accountability, amplification, acceleration. It's just a whole new level for you. So I'm excited for your audience to read the book. And I have put together a masterclass, which everyone that buys the book, if they register the book or the purchase on my website, on the book's website, liberateyourgreatness.com, they'll get access to the masterclass and a few other downloadables. And excited to see the positive impact that they make in the world by reading the book.
Yes. I love this so much. Y'all, I'm putting the link in the show notes if you're listening to the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, share one thing, maybe one part of the framework that really hit home and you're like, I'm excited to read maybe the chapters on that topic. Let us know in the comment section on YouTube. And then in the description, you'll find that link, liberateyourgreatness.com. And take the time after you purchase, let us know, tag us on social, right? Let us know that you bought the book, and then take that time to go grab the free gifts that John is providing for you. There's so much more value in those. So take advantage of them while they're available to you. John, thank you so much for being here, for sharing this framework with us, for creating this book for us. And I am excited to just dive in with the highlighter and just go to town. So thank you. I appreciate you for being here and sharing.
Thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate you too. I'm excited for your book launch coming up in January, and know that I'm always here to support you and cheer you on. Thank you for our wonderful time together today.
All right, everyone, remember, take imperfect action. Done is better than perfect. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got some value out of this episode, I would love some support. And the best way to do that, so I can keep showering you with loads of actionable tips, is to hit that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're on YouTube, and share this podcast with a friend. And when you share it with a friend on social, please tag me so I can reshare your share in my stories. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you for showing up. And now it's time for you to take imperfect action so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more.